Hi there. So today video tutorial is dedicated on how to connect MagicQ to Hippotizer, get the thumbnails running from the Hippotizer into the MagicQ, and I'll show you how the whole connection works. And basically you will be, by the end of the video tutorials, you will be able to control Hippotizer from the MagicQ. Okay, so first thing is I've got two laptops. One of them is running MagicQ, our MagicQ system. It doesn't need to be unlocked, it can be in a demo mode. And the other laptop is running Hippotizer Play. It's basically the same as the full Hippotizer software, media server, but it has watermarked outputs, but everything else is actually open, as far as I know. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but I'll show you step-by-step guide how to make the connection work. So basically, when you start with the Hippotizer Play and you double click on the on the Hippotizer Play, it will come up with this window, and you will play. So it's a demo, current show. Press Hippotizer Play. Start Hippotizer. So basically you have three options: start only engine, and then to be able to control it from external system. Hippotizer, that's running system and the Zookeeper, the UI. And so if you choose the middle one, you'll run the correct version. So click on this one and it will load to you with this looking setup. So basically you will have two layers of under your control, and I will show you the next steps, how to create a connection and how to set it all working. So first thing first, on your laptop that's running, on both of your laptops, set compatible IP addressing. So like on this one, I'm running 200.120, and on my MagicQ system, I think it's 200.100, and subnet mask is 255.000 on both machines. Then another thing that you need to set here is following. So you need to add two modules that will allow you to get the connection running. So in order to do that, you'll have to, basically you'll start with this window. You'll have to go to the configuration, and by default, you will have four components running: engine, media manager, output manager, and the preset manager. So you need to add two more components, DMX2 and the CITP. How to add them? All you have to do is press add, and then choose the components that you need to add. Add CITP and add DMX2 as a component. After you've added them, then what you do is, if you press that button, it will take you back to this Zookeeper view. But what we actually need is, we need to set our modules, the components, and we should be able to set them up. So how to do that? So first thing is, you click on that button. It brings you to this view. Click on any layout, like here, new layout, double click, and it will open you that look. So after that, what you do is you have to press this button, the Hippotizer thing. You click here, and it will bring you all the different components here. So in order to drop anything onto this layout, you need to unlock. You press this button to unlock the layout. You go to the CITP, click and drag CITP component here. Then you do the same thing with the DMX component. So you click and drag it over here. So now you have two components running. You can close it. You can close that. And you can click on the lock button again. And now you have your whole system running. Again, you need to make sure CITP is enabled in order to get the thumbnails on your MagicQ system. And you need to make sure your network interface is correctly picked. So if you have multiple ports, then you have to choose one from here. So I'm using 200.120. That's correct. And the status, as soon as I'll enable thumbnails, it will start blinking like that. in our DMX module, so as long as DMX is enabled, and you want to patch, say, just a normal DMX channels here, you can do the option called auto patch. So in order to run auto patch, you can delete them, but if you press auto patch, you actually don't need to do anything. You don't need to delete it because it's going to wipe itself. So you press auto patch and brings you that window. So in this window, you can set what protocol you're using, ArtNet, streaming ACN, etc. So we're using ArtNet. You can choose what universe to start with, what subnet address, etc., what channel to start with, even though you can type it in at any time you want. And then you choose what layers you want to add them and to be controllable from external system. So in my case, if I want to run 2 layers of software 4.3, so it's 107 channels per each layer. Then I want to patch mixes as well. So it's a mix channel. It's 20 channels, yeah, mix layer. And I want to patch the viewport. So you need to make sure that you're running the correct version. So it's a 4.3. It's the latest version, at least at that moment. It's a 4.3 on a layer, 4.3 on a mixer, and the path patch viewport is going to be 4.2. It doesn't matter. Then when you're ready, you press OK. So it's going to say, would you like to proceed? It will delete everything above. You say yes. So basically, you're going to have that setup running. So you have your mix layer 1, mix layer 2. So you have layer 1, layer 2. Then you have mix 1 control, and you have a viewport. The good thing here is it shows you this is the starting channel, and it tells you how many channels it has and what's going to be the next channel. So the first is layer 1 is channel 1, layer 2 is channel 108, layer controls are 215, and the viewport is 235. After we've done that, we can go back to this look. So we can see the zookeeper, and now we can go to MagicQ part of the of our tutorial, and I'll show you how to set it up everything on the MagicQ. Okay, on the MagicQ now, what you need to do is make sure, obviously, the IP addresses are set up. As I said before, you can go to the setup button, you can go to the network, and you can see your IP address being set, 200.100, subnet mask 255.000, all okay. And if you're asking why my buttons are actually big size, in the latest beta, we've added the possibility to actually have them all large. So if you go to the window in the setup, if you go to the window, big text mode, double click and you choose large, it will bring you everything in a large size. Okay, that's not the most important thing. So what we have to do here is following. So we need to go to, so I'll press layout 1, so you can see it's all empty. Yeah, I press patch. Then I press, because it's a media server, I press choose the media. Then you choose the option here called media server. In the media server, you choose the one that says Hippo version v4, and I choose here 4.3. After I've chosen here, I can press patch, and it tells you from which address your media server wants to be patched. And as I showed you, it starts from the patch channel number 1, so I press 1-1, so that means it's universe 1, DMX address 1. I press enter. It says, do you want to put in a visualizer? I say no, because it's a media server. Press no. So the only thing now you're going to find here is different to the automatic patch, which I think by the time you will probably try to do it, if you will update to the latest library files, they will be updated accordingly. So before you try to do this, make sure you update all the libraries. So if you will look into the zookeeper, not zookeeper, on the Hippotizer, if you look at the DMX settings, if you look at the DMX settings, you're going to see that the sequence of the order of the layers is different to what we have in automatic patch. So you can see here we have layer 1, layer 2, control, and only then viewport. in our case, because currently at that moment, so like at the moment, so I'm running on 1798 or whatever is the latest beta is 1797. MagicQ currently don't support the big library file, the long personality files. So therefore we have to divide them on two parts. So basically a layer 1 of the Hippotizer is the fixture 1 and 2. So it's a layer 1 part 1, layer 1 part 2. Then you have third fixture is the layer 2 part 1, layer 2 part 2. And after that you have viewport and you have a mixer. On the Hippotizer, by default, it's controls and then mixer and then viewport. So what I have to do is I have to change the order here. So in order to do that, I will set my, I will move my mixer for time being on the channel number 400. So just in case, so I press 400. So I moved it. Then the viewport is on the Hippotizer on the channel number 235, so I press 235, enter. So it says 1, 2, 3, 5. And this one, I go back and I say 215. So now all the addresses are correct in the same order as they are on the Hippotizer. So it is important if you want to control it all through ArtNet. So I've loaded the Zookeeper on my Hippotizer so we can see the changes. So on the MagicQ side, make sure that all the layers are all the fixture files are correct here. Then what you do is you have to press Setup. You go and check your DMX settings. Make sure that the universe we're using currently is the universe number 0. So it's ArtNet universe number 0. On the universe 1, it's all correct. So it's outputting ArtNet. That means we will have control of the Zookeeper. Then you go to the system and you go in a view media window. In a view media, as soon as you do patching, it will come up here as the server number 1, Hippo version 4, CITP-MSEX. What it means is it patched itself and it knows that it needs to talk to the Hippotizer with the CITP protocol. So then the version column is not important. Then what you need to do is you need to make sure you set the layer 1 head number correct. What I'm talking about is this. So in the patch window, you can see the layer 1, our layer 1 is the head number 1. Yeah. And in total, we have 4 layers control. So 2 layers per each of the Hippotizer layer. So if we go back to the setup, we have layer 1, head number 1. So it's correct. And layers, how many layers we're using? We're using 4. 4 means each Hippotizer layer is 2 layers of ChamSys, of the MagicQ. So we press 4. After that, you have to write down here the IP address of the laptop that's running Hippotizer. So you type 2.0.0.120, press enter. And in the thumbnails connect, you double click and make it enabled. So live preview at the moment, you can say yes, but at the moment it doesn't work with the Hippotizer. So Hippotizer doesn't send the live preview out of the Hippotizer. That's why you will not be able to use this function. Like on Magic HD player that we have live preview function working. So anyway, when you've set this one correctly, you press get thumbnails, you press it, and it says it finished retrieving thumbnails from the server number 1. That means the thumbnails, CITP files have been, we've got them now in the console. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then in order to control it, what you need to do is following. So as we have the group number 1 is the layers number, the control layers of the Hippotizer. So we don't need to do anything here. You have to switch on the group number 3, or let's say if you go to the heads, viewport, you press locate. Yeah, you press locate. Then you go to the Hippotizer mixer, you press locate as well. So doing that, you actually switched on, if you look now on the Zookeeper, you can see now the mixer has got 100% intensity. That's good. So now you have to go to the media window here, and you can see your Hippotizer version 4. You can select your layer 1. Layer 1 part 1 is basically some of the controls of the Hippotizer layer, but it also has dimming intensity. So when you select layer 1 part 1, you have to press locate, and after that you press dim at full. As soon as you do this, the Hippotizer will show you that you have the layer 1 controls at full, dimming at full. Now you go on the MagicQ, you go to the layer number 2, part 2, and when you're in the media folder here, you use your encoder Y to select, say, bank number 2, and straight away you can see the thumbnails running here. So you can click on this, and as soon as you clicked on it, you will be able to see the thumbnails, you will be able to see the video running on the Hippotizer. So here on the Hippotizer side, as you can see, the video is running, the one that we've set from the MagicQ. And if you go and look at the preview, you can see the preview is fully working. This is the preview window. So if you go back again, you can see it's all running here. Now, on the MagicQ side, you can see the thumbnails preview from the Hippo. So you can choose this, and the Hippotizer will straight away show you the content on the screen. So on the window here, what you may notice is when we select the first layer, we press at dimmer at full and locate. It showed us some symbol here, but the layer 2, it shows you your preview of your video, but it shows you 0% because the layer part 2 of the Hippotizer doesn't have the intensity because the intensity is located in the first layer of the Hippotizer. So if this is too complex for you, and if you want to have everything on the same button with the previews here on the window, you can patch it, I think, as the version 4.1. They have a more compact library, then you will be able to fit everything on one button. But otherwise, you can always select your part, you select the video that you need to do, you can press record, and then you click and you record your video file as a playback number 1, and then you can go and press second video clip and you press record and record it as a playback number 2. Again, the good thing is as soon as you update the libraries of the video files in the Hippotizer, you just go here and press reload thumbnails, and it will reload all the thumbnails again. It's not like on some other servers where you have to break the connection, do the whole restart, recheck, and then getting the thumbnails. Sometimes you may lose the connection with the files or some of your programming. It's actually much easier. You just press reload thumbnails. It will load you the thumbnails here where you can set it up. You can just select it. Any new thumbnails, press reload, and they will come up here straight away, and you can use them in your programmings. And then now you can press clear whenever you're ready, and try to raise the number 1, playback number 1. And on the Hippotizer, you can see it's running. And if I change the playback number 2, you can see the clip changes as well. All these modes, like the modes, control of the, all the controls that you have here can be controlled and manipulated from the MagicQ through the different control channels. Again, if you select any on the MagicQ, if you go to the media, you select your layers, you have the different controls, like in a position, you have the keystone controls, you have the color shift, color balance controls, you have effects, media, pose, you have different live inputs, etc. So all the controls that you normally expect the lighting desk to have for the media servers are here in the media window for the Hippotizer. Again, this is just a quick example of how to set it up, how to make it run. So I hope that clip will show you how easy it is to actually control a Hippotizer from the MagicQ, getting thumbnails running, getting thumbnails updated, and recording any playbacks. That's all for today. Thank you very much, and bye.